last time in this building ever. We are at the office going to work. Who's got it better?
Hey, that was a good win. Defense let us step up. Offense, we got to clean it up a little bit. And we got a good opponent coming to our town, baby. So make sure we're ready this week. So Chiefs on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Chiefs started 2-0 all on the road. Look at this for their home opener. Cats and dogs right there for the Ravens and Chiefs. James Palmer in the warm embrace of the indoors, the Chiefs locker room.
Thanks, Rich. The Ravens blitz at the third highest percentage in the NFL, and nobody's created more pressures off of blitzes this year than Baltimore. But the problem is Patrick Mahomes, dating back to last year, is the best quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. I talked to offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, who told me he has an uncanny ability to prepare. He actually spent his 24th birthday this week watching film. I talked to right tackle Mitchell Schwartz, who told me he almost has a sixth sense about him. It's not going through progressions when the pressure comes. He just automatically knows where to go with the football. And he said he also takes almost a mental snapshot right when the pressure's coming. It's that photographic memory, Rich, we hear so much about. Schwartz said teams eventually just stop bringing the pressure.
We mentioned the number 20 at the very top. Nobody has more passing yards, passing touchdowns, 3 touchdown passing games or more, 100 or better passer rating games in the first 20 career games than Patrick Mahomes. And by the way, these are all numbers he set in his first 19. His 20th career start is today.
Right. I see you
in the bottom there.
You're taking my records down right there in the fine print down below, aren't you, Rich?
I waited.
I see what you're doing there.
That's the mooch in me, I guess, right there. So we get to Patrick Mahomes in his 20th career start, and we say this with no hint of irony.
Yeah.
Is there anything he can't do?
Well, there's something that he hasn't done yet. We'll start there. He hasn't beaten the Patriots yet. So I think that's next on the list, where we see New England, how they played early on, maybe even better than they were last year. So that's what he hasn't done. Is there anything he can't do? I tell you what, every time I watch the film each week, I am taping plays and sending them to my young quarterback son going, look at what this guy does with his right arm, the kind of throws he makes. But I will say this, as great as he is, he can't make every throw. If there's only one flaw that I see in Patrick Mahomes right now, it's that he does so many great things that he believes he can make every single throw. And if we remember when he went up to Foxborough last year, tried to force a couple throws, ended up probably costing them the game. That's the only thing he's got to get out of, is can't make every single throw. He can make most of them, and more than most guys we've ever seen play this game, but just not every single one.
Well, I mean, one of the things that people say that Patrick Mahomes is going to do, become the first $40 million a year quarterback, unless Dak gets there first, because Dak has been tearing up the league in his There Is More Pie Tour 2019. His first 2 games have been fantastic. And now the Cowboys are at home against the Dolphins, who are starting the Rosen Room today. We send things to the Jones Mahal and Jane Slater. Jane?
Rich, the Cowboys were bitten by the injury bug last week in their win over the Redskins, and they are without 4 of their starters today. Their wide receiver Michael Gallup out with a knee injury. That means we'll see Devin Smith, who scored last week against the Redskins. And then at safety, Xavier Woods is out, which means we'll see Darian Thompson in. As for the defensive linemen, they're also without Tyrone Crawford and Antoine Woods. That opens up the door for this year's top pick, Tristan Hill, to see his first in-game action. Now to Steve Mariucci for more on the Cowboys.
All right, Jane, thank you very much. Let's talk about these Cowboys, Michael.
Let's do that, Coach.
Great football team, but any weaknesses?
Coach, they are about to get tested here, and many people are, I don't know, just not giving it the attention it should, because Michael Gallup was playing superb football, averaging 100 yards a game. Now, Devin Smith comes in, and everybody says, oh, we just fit him in. Devin Smith has 3 for 74 last week, Coach. That's his best game as a pro. To say that he can just step in and do what Michael Gallup has been doing these last couple weeks would do him, Michael Gallup, a disservice. So the depth is about to be tested. Yeah. And the one other thing that we got to get better at, Coach, that we, golly, Mike,
you said it. You said we.
That the Dallas Cowboys have to get better at is getting to the quarterback. Yeah. Getting to the quarterback. Only 2 sacks, Coach. You got to get.
You're right. And if you're Rod Marinelli and that defensive staff you're looking at, 2 sacks is not us, because we pressure, we hit, we sack quarterbacks, and we're not doing it enough. That's a scheme thing. But there are some things, Mike, to me, that are not in any player player or coach's control, okay? You did hit on the injuries. They have a couple of receivers out. Tavon Austin is also out with Gallup. But then 3 defensive starters, Jane mentioned about defensive linemen being out. The other thing is this. That contract situation is okay right now with Dak and Amari Cooper, right?
Right.
But if all of a sudden it just drags and drags and drags, and Dak is limping, he's going, I'm sucking it up for this team, maybe that contract issue will rear its ugly head. And I hope they get that thing done before the end of the year.
They'll get it done because Dak is one of a kind, you know. And even with the sacks, I'm thinking, as I talked to DeMarcus Lawrence, he said, you know, and I said to him, I said, man, you got to be ready now. He said, I'll be ready. I'm thinking that it's just that you didn't get a whole lot of training camp because he had the shoulder that he was coming back from. And once he gets right and back in form, they'll get there.
Say that again.
They'll get there.
Rich, back to you.
All right, thanks very much. Guys, 2 weeks ago, we were wondering what's the Patriots offense going to look like with Antonio Brown? 2 weeks later, what's the Patriots offense going to look like without Antonio Brown?